Hey everybody, this is Joe, the Over 40 Model Maker here, coming at you with a new type of video. Not really a review or an unboxing. We're actually going to do a painting tutorial, and it has to do with our Perfect Grade over here. So inside the Perfect Grade is a little painted dude about yay, like literally yay big, sitting inside that you can go ahead and bring out and display if you wanted to do it that way. What they also have is this little guy, and he's literally, I would say, an inch tall. Let me get this focus in here. An inch tall, and we're going to go ahead and paint him. And as you can see, I just did him in a standard gray primer, and I just did a very tiny dab of super glue on the bottom of a Warhammer McFarlane Toys stand, just so that I can control moving him around so I don't get my fingers in the paint and everything like that. But as you can see, let me see if I can't try to... It does have a little bit of detail, but we're just kind of going for like a slapping speed paint type of thing today. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do that. That's our video for today. Thank you very much for joining, and we'll go ahead and we'll start. Okay, so for what we are doing is we are going to do Lowe Guele from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. It's going to be this guy right here. So this is the only like full color thing that I have. Now I don't have like exact colors for him, so we're just going to do it as close to us as possible. So like here, like I have Citadel and like Hobbycraft paints. So the brown here is just going to be just a standard brown. The green is, the closest thing I've got to that is Strachan green. I mean, it's close enough. For the vest, we're just going to do kind of a Forensian gray, but it'll contrast good with the McCrag blue for the pants. And then for the boots, I'm just going to do straight black, because why not? Kisloff flesh for the skin tones, and maybe Reichland flesh shade to put a shade on it, maybe not. Just kind of depends. So we're going to put that over here on the side, and it all just kind of starts with choosing a thing and just starting to block it off. So I'm going to do the pants first, because that looks like it's the most amount of paint that I'm going to use. So what we're going to do is shake up our McCrag blue, pop the top on it, and we're going to put some, got some on my finger, wipe that off. Let's put some on our lovely palette right here. And then these paints do come rather thick, so we're going to thin it down with just a little bit of water, just so that it spreads nicely. And we're going to roll it into a fine tip. And then it's just basically, we're just going to go in and block all the parts that need to be blue. And it looks like it goes all the way down to his boot, all the way around. Now this may need, depending on how detailed you want all this, it may take one coat, it may take 2 coats, but just take your time. Don't rush these things. Just take your sweet time. And then when it's all dry, and you are liking the results, you go ahead and move on to the next paint. So that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, and when you're satisfied with how you did, this is what it should kind of look like. Now, there is a part right here where it can get kind of tough. So I try to focus right in here, in between his belt and his vest. Try to use just one smooth motion, as thin of a paintbrush as you can. If you happen to get paint on the vest or the belt, don't worry about it. Let it dry and just go ahead and go with your other color. The good thing about Citadel paints is that they do cover quite well. Now, the next one we're going to do is we're going to do the vest, and that is going to be the lovely Frenzian Gray. Again, it's not an exact match, but it will work for right now, because that's actually what I used up in the small one in the model itself. So we'll just get a little bit more paint on our palette here. And for a palette, I'm just using a regular old porcelain floor tile. That's all I'm doing. It cleans up nice. It works quite well. As you can see, though, my son has been painting Tyranids, and he kind of does not get the cleaning off aspect of it, which is completely fine. Doesn't bother me any. And then what we're going to do here is try to get in focus, and then just color in the vest as best we can, all the way around, making sure that we get all the parts. And I'm kind of thinking I might have watered this down a little bit too much. But what we will do is we will let it dry, and I'll probably just go over with another coat of the paint. Yeah, I think I did. So we'll go ahead, we'll let this dry. We'll let this dry, and then I'll go over with another thing of paint. So I'll be right back. Okay, now when you get that done, it's going to start filling in like this. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to do the hair. Now, I could go with a standard, like, you know, chestnut hair brown color like this, but I find out that craft paints, I don't know really how to get those to really work well on models. Good Lord, this thing is hard to get in focus. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to just use Bugman's Glow for the hair. I mean, that's all I can do. Maybe put in like a nun oil wash to darken it down or something. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. This is just something that may go on my diorama with this thing, because, you know, it's roughly, it's supposed to be like in scale, but like the one inside is a lot smaller than this, so I'm not really sure. So we'll just get some Bugman's Glow and focus that, and then just put it around the head. That's all we can do for right now. Just put it around the head, even on top. Put it around the head. And this is probably something where you're going to want to do at least 2 coats. Be very careful of the headband. Again, try to use like your smallest brush that you can, and then just honestly, just take your time. And so then when I'm done with that, we will move on to the belt and the boots. Just like so. Now that we have the hair done, again, it doesn't look, it's not the same brown color as that, but you know what? So what? It doesn't matter. So now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the belt and the boots. So for that, I decided to go with a Corvus black today. Reason being is that there is a slight twinge of a gray within the Corvus black. So we're just going to go ahead and use that instead, because it looks like it matches up with the picture art just right. And make sure that when you're doing the belt, there is the hand pose right there that you have to be careful of. And then just working your way around the back. Just block in what you're using. And just take your time. So you'll get your belt done. And then you'll go get the boots down here finished. And then you just want to make sure you get both sides and the front and the back. And don't be afraid to paint the stand that your figure is on. Because remember, we're just using this as an actual stand. Make sure you get it in between. And then if you need to do 2 coats, let the first one dry, and then go ahead and apply the second coat as needed. Okay, next up, what we're going to do is we're going to get the headband, and there's another little band on his bicep right here that we're going to do with this Strachan green, because again, it's the closest green that I have in order to paint all these things with. And we'll just put some down here on the palette here off camera. We'll thin it down with a little bit of water. That was probably a little bit too much water. Let's go ahead and put some more paint in to thicken it up. Okay, and we'll load it up here. Okay, here we got to be extremely careful because there's not a lot of room. And let's see, we'll go around the back here. Just like, yeah, I know, and I'm very sorry for the fuzziness. There really isn't a smooth spot to record and paint at the same time. So you're just going to have to bear with me, and I'll show you the end result when I'm done here. Let's see, I think it's this part right here. I need a little bit more green. Just like so. Okay, so let's wash our brush off here, get it dry. Now we have that up there, and then we have the green headband. So now we're just going to go ahead and move straight on to I would have to say one of the easiest parts, and that is just the making of the flesh. It's the arms and the face. We're just going to use some Kisloff flesh for that. Very thin, like very little on the paintbrush, so I can have lots of control. Now this is just going to be, I can't, this is going to be, hard. Because I can't do it through the phone camera, because that gets too blurry. I can't see anything really. And for me to position it correctly is just nigh on impossible with the way the camera is. And let's get we'll get the face here really quick. This is definitely going to be one of those where it's 2 coats. Easily 2 coats. All the way around. All the way around, just like so. Just be careful getting all the spots. Let it dry completely so that the new layer of paint adheres to the first coat. And then just let it dry. Yep, and then just let it dry, and then come back with the second coat. So that's what we'll do right now. Be back. Okay, we got our second coat of flesh, Kisloff flesh on there. And right now you can definitely go ahead, and if you wanted to, you could leave it at that. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put on just a little bit of a Reichland flesh shade just to give it a kind of a more darker tone here. Now, with this, you have to be careful because this can run completely wild on you and kind of ruin the whole thing. But what we're going to do, so we're just going to load up just a tiny bit amount onto the brush, and wherever the flesh was, we're just going to go ahead and paint. And just let it just sit on there. And it's just a shade, or it's just a wash. There we go. Try to get it on the camera here. And that will make him just a tad bit darker, make some of the details pop out just a little bit more. And then also maybe give like a little definitions to his face here. Like where his eyes indent and things like that. Now, with any shade or any, what's the word I'm looking for? A shade paint, like the flesh shade or like nun oil or something like that, you want to give it a good amount of time to dry. So my suggestion would be 30 minutes to a half an hour, and see how that kind of darkened his skin a little bit, so it gave him kind of more of a tan. We're just going to leave it at that. So that's all I want to put on him for right now. So we'll go ahead and leave that to dry, and then we'll see the final results and wrap up the video. All right, be back in a little while. Okay, well, it's been about half an hour and it's all dry. I'm not going to put another coat on or anything, but as you can see, it does give it just a little bit more definition. It stands out all the other colors that are around it. But so far, I'm satisfied with how it's going to look. I mean, granted, yeah, it's not directly a one-to-one thing, but I think it's going to work. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it at that today. So thank you all very, very much for joining me. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down in the down below just to let your voice be heard. And we'll go ahead and just end this every other time. Actually, before we do that, next time we're going to be putting on the arms on this baby. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. So with that, if it's your birthday, happy birthday, you handsome man. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, you beautiful, beautiful woman. And we'll all see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay good, and take care.